Yeah, but you tested the Ganassi IndyCar. Maybe you will have more adventures in the US in the near future.
Yeah, I think in the end you have to play the long game. I've been with Mercedes for 6 years now, and I'm really happy to be with them. I think they are able to offer a lot of different kinds of racing opportunities, and it's not every team or manufacturer that can do that. If you look at in the US, you go to a team and maybe you drive, you do well, but in 2 years maybe something happens and then you have nothing. You have nothing to build on, or if you're not working with a manufacturer. So that's the problem with IndyCar. I think it's quite similar to GP2 in that sense that you don't really have 1 year or 2 years, and then when those years are over, you don't know what you're gonna do. But yeah, I would love to do IndyCar. I did a test last year, as you said, and it was fantastic. I think it's really suiting my driving. But at the moment, it's I think I have options that are more attractive in Europe. But I'm still keeping a contact with some teams over there, and hopefully we can do something one day.
Is GP2 a closed door?
Yes, I think so. It's not. I don't think it's interesting for me at the moment.
You have said that IndyCar suits your driving style. What's your opinion on ovals? Are they too dangerous?
I don't think anything is too dangerous. I like the fact that it's dangerous. I think especially when you go there in reality and watch the guys drive, you really start to respect them in a completely different way. I think oval racing is something very different to normal racing. I would even call it almost another sport. But the respect I have for these guys, especially when I watch them on Indy 500, it's just unbelievable how quick they go. They go 2x2 or 3x3 and almost 400 kilometers an hour. And the respect you need between each other there is something completely different. And I found it hard in the beginning with ovals. I think to be quick on one lap was easy, but to race around other guys was very, very hard in the beginning. And I especially to trust other people, I find hard, because if someone does a small mistake, then you crash over 300 kilometers in the wall, and it's gonna for sure hurt you, the car, and the team. So it was a cool experience. I only did 2 races, but hopefully I can do some more in the future.
How do you have to drive to be quicker than the others in an oval?
It's hard to explain, but if you have only 2 corners, there's always still a way to be quicker than the others. You can do, if necessary, in less distance. You can scrub less the steering wheel, or sometimes you even need to lift in the corner, and then it's in the end like any other corner. I think also the car is very important. It's important to find a setup that makes the car go almost automatically through the corner, that you don't put a lot of forces through the steering wheel. I think it's more of a physics lesson than anything, how to make a car just go as quick as possible around the circle. But you really find what small inputs can make a big difference, especially when you're fighting about hundreds and thousands. Every little thing you do will make a difference.
And what do you think about the second kind of ovals, like a mile long oval?
What I think about it?
Yes, compared to the super speedways.
I'm probably more a fan of the super speedways. The short ones made me almost sick driving the first time in Phoenix. It was just never you just never stop turning. And when I jumped out the car the first time,
You were dizzy.
everything was spinning and it felt like you were drunk. It was kind of a weird feeling, and I think some drivers have it very easy to relax, and that helps a lot when you do those tracks. I'm normally quite tense when I'm driving, and I found it hard to relax, and I didn't even use my headrest in the race, and my neck was just completely destroyed. Yeah, it takes practice, and I felt after I did Indianapolis, I developed a lot as an oval driver, but there's still I need to practice more to get to a winning level.
And when will you make another attempt to Daytona 24 hours?
I've been looking a little bit to do it this year. The problem is that I have a event with Formula E at the same time as the test for Daytona is, so I'm not sure if I can do it this year, but I would really love to come back, and now Mercedes is going there as well, and I think it's definitely opened up a door for the future. So yeah, we will see maybe in 2018.
You know what we'd love to see? We'd love to see you testing the old Mercedes of Fangio and Moss in an exhibition at Northlight. Felix Rosenqvist driving the old W196, for example.
Yeah, that would be cool. I never drove a historic car, to be honest. I only raced modern cars, but I really loved, for example, when I started Formula cars, when I had a stick shift with a sequential gearbox, and even some cars that you needed to use the clutch and so on. It was a little bit different way of, it was a bit more sporty, I would say. A bit more physical in the cars. You had to work more with your hands and so on, with your feet. But yeah, it's also one of those things that time goes forward and we cannot look too much in the past. But it was a cool time, I think, and I would love to drive a really old car one day just to feel what it was like.
Have you seen the footage of recent weeks of Stefan Johansson driving his old Ferrari in the streets in Adelaide?
Yeah, I saw it.
Without any helmetless.
He looked quite happy in there. For sure, it brought a lot of memories back for him. I think that was really one of the coolest the era of Formula One. And he was able to be part of that. And he always speaks about that with a smile on his face when he's talking about the old cars.
I used to see him race then I was a child, and I remember his helmet. He had a beautiful helmet. And I remember about 30 years ago he drove at Ligier. And it was so radical because each car used to be so different from the other. And it was 88, I think he had a Tyrrell, not a Ligier, which had the engine before the fuel tank. The fuel tank was between the gearbox and the engine.
Mm-hmm.
And they used to go out runs during practice, and they would take the engine cover off, and they would experiment with different things, and it used to be so much more creative.
Yeah, I mean, back in that day, I think especially the mechanics had a really different job. They sort of had to be creators. They had to make everything fit in a different way. You didn't have the same kind of computer designing technology and CAD and so on. So every day was a day of creating and adapting things to make it work. And also, the regulations were not near as strict as they were today. So there was more room for crazy ideas as we've seen in the days. And you had also when they changed engines for qualifying, crazy things like that. So I think it was very tough because also the budgets then were much less, and you had less people working. But it was probably a really cool family feeling when you had like 10 to 20 guys going around the world and doing all those crazy stuff.
They would work on the cars, shirtless outside the garage building. There were no secrets there. It was just like a family of racers there, just giving it all.
Yeah, it's probably a bit more like Formula Ford is nowadays. That's where F1 came from, and it became what it is today, and that's also a cool thing to see what those guys that were there. A lot of them are still here today, and what they have created is quite fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Just one last comment. We're based in Iberia, in Spain, and you guys come and test a bit, and a lot of the tracks around here. Do you have any particular favorite in Valencia or Jerez or Barcelona, or any particular you like coming to here in Spain or Iberia?
I think I haven't raced so much in Spain, to be honest. I raced it for the first time in Barcelona this year. Actually, I did a lot of testing, but never raced. And I raced many times in Valencia. I think Valencia I have many memories. It was the first time I ever drove a Formula 3 car there. I had some good race wins there. I think it was always a good track for me in general. And it just feels almost like a home going there, when all the teams are there and in the winter, and you meet all the people again. And it's even if the track is not that spectacular for a racing car, it's a very special. It has become a very special place, especially for the Formula 3 paddock. So yeah, I would say Chester in Valencia.
Turn 1.
Turn 1 is very cool. They destroyed it a little bit now with a big tarmac runoff. But I remember when you were able to do that one flat out, it was quite a cool feeling and insane amount of G-force. I think we almost had 4G in that corner in Formula 3.
But do you mean that you're a gravel supporter for those type of turn before putting there lots of asphalt that don't penalize enough the drivers?
Yeah, I think that's a typical example. When you never saw anyone going out in the gravel there, and when someone really pushed, they were close, but they didn't go out. So that's a typical example of especially to bring that feeling to the driver that you were so close to the limit, you were so close to going off, but you made it. And now when you make the mistake, you don't even feel scared because you just let it go. You don't lose any time, and you continue. So I think it's as much as it is for the spectators to see people going off the track. It's even more for the driver the sensation you get when you do something a good job on the track gets taken away when you have corners like this.
With the wide knowledge that you have already gained from different categories, what will you change of the current structure of circuit autosport so that it could be more profitable for the young drivers and easier for them to progress?
You mean the tracks or the cars? I didn't understand, sorry.
The different series, the categories. For example, we have a GP3, but also Formula 3, Formula 4. Maybe it's a bit confusing now for maybe people don't know exactly where to watch the next big thing. From the driver's perspective, how would you make an appropriate structure of filler series?
I think it's always very important since motorsport is an expensive sport, and it's more or less all financed through sponsorship or through rich people or companies. You you need to have a structure that is understandable to everyone that's watching, because otherwise in the end no one has the interest of putting the money there. That's why I think it's very important to have a ladder that you do Formula 4, Formula 3, Formula 2, and then Formula 1. I know maybe it could be something that every Formula 1 team should have a junior team in Formula 2, for example, or somehow I think everyone needs to work more together to put a package, for example, that MotoGP have, that they have one weekend with all the three Moto2 and Moto3 together. Mm-hmm. And everyone, it makes much more sense for everyone. I think we are not far away. I heard rumors that GP2 will become Formula 2, and then for the first time in many years we have actual ladder that makes sense. But then, a problem with motorsport is that there's always interests on other sides. People start championships on the side that are similar to other championships, and then you lose the whole credibility of which series is the good one. When you have, for example, you have between GP2 and the World Series by Renault that we had for many, many years, and when you present this to a potential investor, he doesn't understand what's the difference, or which one is the actual good championship. And I think that's something that the FIA and everyone needs to be stronger and stricter, and to not let people start countless of championships that doesn't really belong anywhere. I think especially in the single seater category. Then when it comes to touring cars and GT cars is a little bit of a different situation, but the Formula cars is in the end the important thing, and since you have Formula 1, and that's well, I'm happy that they're getting in a good direction.
Okay, Felix, we appreciate a lot your time.
Yes.
Okay,
pleasure.